Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, True Talk with Ericka Sallee, where I empower women to live fulfilled, to focus on well-being mentally, physically, and spiritually, and to transform into the best versions of themselves. So if this is something that you want to hear more of, then I do encourage you to, yes, subscribe to the channel, share it out, and then turn the notification bell on so that you know when new videos are uploaded. So listen, I gotta tell you, I'm sitting here thinking about a transformation of my own. So I was in the store a few days ago and I'm trying on clothes, mainly, bottoms, pants. And as I was trying them on, I thought, oh, I don't like the way that looks. And I'm looking in the mirror and I'm feeling a little uncomfortable because nothing that I tried on made me feel like I was comfortable enough to wear it out. Okay. So I finally settled on one pair of pants that felt good. And you know how they have the different types of pants that have like inseams. It's supposed to snatch and snug and all the things. So those fit just fine. But when I walked out of the store, I walked out feeling like, I know that when I had my last physical, the doctor said, okay, you could consider losing a few pounds based on my height and age and all the other things. And I know it, right? So in subtle ways, I could kind of feel that there was a change in my body that I wasn't quite happy with. But here is what really said it to me. So I got home and I go upstairs and I'm trying on a few things and I pulled out this pair of jeans that I have worn multiple times. I go to pull the jeans up and oh my gosh, they would not go any further than like the top of my thighs. So I said, oh my gosh, that was the real test. So I took those jeans off so fast, I folded them up and I put them back in the closet. And that's when I knew that something had to change. Now, I work out at least 4 times a week. I do a combination of things. Sometimes I walk, sometimes I do wall Pilates, which is really what I'm focused on doing right now. And then I have an app that I use that has all kinds of exercises. So whether you want low impact, high impact, whether you want things for your abs, your legs, your stomach, all of that. So the app is a great resource for me. But I realized that even with that, there's something else that's going on. Now, I also know that I'm over 50, and you know the stories that we hear about how we as women change over 50. Our bodies are different, metabolism, hormones, all of what comes along with becoming seasoned. So as I'm thinking about all of those things, I realize there is still something that I am not comfortable about with my body. And so this idea of transformation is like right here in front of my face. And so I wanted to share this because you might be in a place right now where there's something that you know needs to happen differently for you. There is a place that you might be in that no longer serves you. I'm talking to you about my weight. Now, let me also add the caveat here is that this conversation is not about body shaming or making weight be the focal point of who you are as a woman. That's not what this conversation is about. What it is about, though, is that when I think about what is comfortable for me and what I want to do differently, this happens to be a very clear and present example. So I just want to make sure, because I know that we're in a time and a space where we don't want to solely focus on weight, or we don't want to shame someone because of their weight. So I want to make sure that you know what I'm saying to you is that this is a change that I want and need to make for me. So you get to decide what that is for you. It may be weight, it may be something else, but I think that it is applicable regardless of what the change is that you may be thinking about right now. So I wanted to break this down because I use this definition when I'm working with my clients, and I share, how do you actually look at transformation and make it applicable to something that you can do differently for yourself. So let me break it down really quickly. So trans, Trans, means such as to change or transfer, or on the other side of. So that means that in my case, when I looked at the fact that I didn't feel comfortable in my clothes, I couldn't put my jeans up, jeans that I know that I had on like last year this time, such as to change. I want to change the feeling of what that's like for me. So that's the TRANS part. Or on the other side of means that wherever I am right now, then when I get on the other side of that, then there's something that's going to be different for me. Okay, so stay with me. Form in the word transformation means one of the different models of. So what this says to me is that it is a different model of myself. I'm going to use the example again of the weight. So right now, that different model means that if I'm 10 pounds, 15 pounds, 20 pounds less than what I am right now, I'm still the same person, but I'm in a different model or a different form of myself. So that's the form, FORM part of transformation. The Ation part, ATION, and this might be the most important part of the word, is something connected with an action or process. So that part means that once you recognize where you are and then you decide that you want to be on the other side of that, then what action or process are you going to connect yourself to so that you can realize the change that you want for yourself, okay? So it's one thing for me to say, oh my gosh, I went to the store, couldn't fit into these, didn't like the way I was feeling in these clothes, couldn't fit into these jeans. Oh well. If I don't add the ATION, the something connected with an action or process, then I'm not really setting myself up for change. That's why I said that is the most important part of the word. So what I had to think about, and this is where I want you to kind of really go to your specific thing. Like as you're watching this now, and maybe you're watching this and there's nothing that you can think about right now that you're ready to change or that you want to do differently. If that is the case, then let me celebrate you. But if you happen to be in a space, and oh, by the way, if you're not in a place right now where you want to change or need to change something, then hold this video for a future time, because there's always an opportunity for us to do something different, especially when we look at ways that we can create better for ourselves. I just wanted to mention that. So when you think about, all right, so I know I'm not where I want to be. That's a where are you right now? That's a right now I'm in a place where I'm not fitting comfortably into the clothes that I know I'm used to wearing or that I want to wear. Okay, so that's right now. So then I say to myself, all right, well, how did I get to this point? And if I think back, there's a few things that stand out for me. So as I said, I work out 4 times a week. I don't know if I said it or not, but just saying it right now. So I work out 4 times a week. So I say to myself, well, all right, so I'm doing that, but I'm still feeling like, okay, there's something that's not quite right. All right, so I'm processing in my mind, okay, I work out. One of the things, there's 2 things that come to mind actually that I think to myself, these are contributors to where I am. Number 1, I know that over the last probably month and a half, 2 things have been happening. Number 1, I've been sitting more. Heads down into something, focusing on, I've had some major projects going on in the last couple of months, and I've been like heads down working on those things. And I know that I probably have been sitting more and not moving as much as I should have throughout the course of the day. So that's one thing that when I think back, I'm like, okay. The second thing is that I noticed that I have been eating dinner much later than what I probably ever have in my life, barring being on vacation. And so when I think about that, like, my son runs track. And so sometimes we get in late from track meets and we sit down and we eat later, or other things are going on through the course of the week. And I just noticed, I'm like, yeah, there have been quite a few times when I've eaten after 8 o'clock. Now, I know that there is research that suggests that when we eat after a certain time, it does have impacts on our body that we probably don't want. So those are 2 things in particular that I can say, all right, if I think back to how I got here, then those are the things that come to mind. So now that I know that, the Asian part something connected with an action or process, what am I going to do? Well, even though I work out 4 times a week, sometimes 5 times a week, I think that I can do better, right? I can up my game. I can incorporate an additional lap or 2 in my walk, because right now when I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, if I get 20 minutes in, 25 minutes, that's good. It helps me start my day because I'm moving about. But I'm thinking to myself, you probably need to do a little bit more. And so I'm looking at ways to incorporate upping the ante so that I can expand beyond what I'm doing. And here's the other thing. Sometimes when we are in a pattern, we're in a rhythm, it starts to get comfortable. And even in that comfortable place, that's a sign that change is needed, because comfortable still feels good. I'm still working out. I'm still checking that box. I still know that, I'm moving my body, but perhaps it's gotten too comfortable to the point where I didn't even realize, oh, well, wait a minute. You need to expand that, and you need to step outside of what you've been doing in order to get a new result. That's probably a conversation all by itself. But it is something that says to me, oh, wait a minute, you need to adjust, you need to change. So that's one of the things. The other thing is that, okay, now I know that I need to be more intentional about what time I'm eating. And then I also need to be more intentional about make sure you get up, make sure you're moving. I did a campaign a little while ago, and it was called Push Back and Pause. And that was specifically intended to make us think about getting up and stepping away from the laptop or whatever it is that you're at a desk doing or you're sitting still doing. And so I'm thinking to myself, okay, you've kind of moved away from that. You get up, but you need to get up more. So these are all the things that I'm looking at when it comes to transformation for me. And what I'm encouraging you to do as you listen to this conversation is to think about, are you in a place right now that does not serve you? Is there something in your space right now that does not feel good, that does not make you feel comfortable? Or maybe you've gotten too comfortable in that space and you need to brush off the dust of that and expand into something different. If you say yes to any of those questions, then the next question to ask is, well, what's the different version of me that I'd like to see? And then lastly, it is, in order for me to see that different version or the different model of myself, then what actions do I need to take? What process do I need to follow in order to get me there? So figure out what that looks like for you, and then move into the space of making it happen. It may take you small steps. Like, I fully know that I am going to have to put myself into this in a more committed way. And it might not happen tomorrow. I'm not going to lose 20 pounds overnight. And if I do, that means something else is not right. But at the end of the day, it is a process, and process sometimes takes time. So that's what this whole transformation journey is all about. So I'm going to be chronicling this journey, probably sharing some things on my other social media platforms. So just as I'm asking you to subscribe to this channel, I'm also going to ask you to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at TruSynergy LLC, because I'm going to be posting different things about what I'm doing, what I'm up to, how I'm pushing myself. And I don't mean pushing myself in a way that's not unhealthy. I mean expanding myself to just give myself enough of a challenge so that I can get to the place where I want to be. If I had to call out a number, I really could lose about 20 pounds. I'm grateful for my height, because my height helps to distribute my weight, but I also know that there are things that I know that I want to change. I feel it, and I know that it is time, because this right now is not serving me the way I want. So with that being said, I do encourage you to not only subscribe here and follow me on my other platforms, but if you have questions about what transformation looks like for you and how you can set that up and how you can have some accountability, some support, I also encourage you to visit my website at TruSynergy.org. There is a program that I offer called the Clarity and Focus Experience. This is for the woman who may not necessarily be ready for a full-on coaching engagement, but maybe you're at a place where you're like, okay, I'm listening to you in this video right now, and I have a few questions about what this might mean for me. The Clarity and Focus Experience allows you to come into a space once a month, ask your questions, and then take that information and create your transformation journey on your own. And so if that's something that you think you're interested in, then I am posting the link to getting more information about that in the description of this video so that you can check that out for yourself. It's a quick and easy way to get some support so that you can move, at least take steps that you need to take in order to create what transformation looks like for you. So on that note, I look forward to seeing you all again real soon. Until I do, take care of yourselves and yes, be well.